The stories that are shaping the planet. It's ICRT's World Report.
Good morning again. It's 8:30. I'm Bill Thiessen along. Shinzo Abe took office as Japan's 7th prime minister in 6 years yesterday, vowing to overcome the deep-rooted economic and diplomatic crisis facing his country. Sandra Gathman has more from Tokyo.
This is Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's second attempt as prime minister, which is why analysts here in Japan say that he cannot promise too much too soon. He's been firm in deciding the members of his newly formed cabinet, including several high-profile politicians that will be able to push through changes and improvements to economic and foreign policy very quickly and resolutely. At the same time, he's been seen as tiptoeing around several major issues, including island disputes with China, the Senkaku and Daio Islands, as well as the Takashima Islands with South Korea, as well as saying that it would be in 3 years' time that he would decide whether or not to restart the Fukushima nuclear plants that were affected by the tsunami last year.
Abe brings back to power the conservative, pro-business Liberal Democratic Party that governed for most of the post-World War II era.
Egypt's President Mohamed Morsi proclaimed the country's newly adopted constitution as the dawning of a new republic. In a television address yesterday, he called on the opposition to join him in dialogue following a month of turmoil and said repairing Egypt's damaged economy is a top priority. He also claimed the constitution would mark a new period of peace and stability. Some 64% of voters backed the constitution in the controversial referendum. However, opponents say the document favours Islamists, and they've dismissed Morsi's calls for dialogue as lacking seriousness. A spokesman for the main opposition group said yesterday that protests will be held on January the 25th in Tahrir Square to call for the new constitution to be scrapped.
The head of Syria's military police defected to Turkey and accused the Syrian army of becoming a murderous gang. Opposition activists claim Lieutenant General Abdulaziz al-Shalal has been working for them for months but couldn't defect earlier because he was under constant surveillance. Announcing his defection, al-Shalal said he could no longer serve with the Syrian army that has been turned against the country's people.
I have defected because of the deviation of the army away from its primary duty of protecting the country and its transformation into gangs of killing and destruction, the destruction of cities and villages, and committing massacres against our unarmed people who went out to demand liberty. Long live Syria, free and strong.
The Syrian government claims the Lieutenant General was about to retire, and his departure from Damascus makes no difference to the country's security structure.
Tens of thousands of protesters have gathered in Iraq's